Hello, my name is Oliver Bryant, and this is my Week 5 assignment for FTT122, Introduction to Ammunition and Basic Ballistics. It's a four-part assignment. So with part 1, you asked us to do our research and what we found with barrel harmonics and what they are. Citing my sources first, I got all my information from Gun Digest, a post by Philip Massario of April 11th, 2017. Called Ballistics, Understanding the Barrel Harmonics and Accuracy. From what I found, harmonics are an extreme vibration running through the barrel as the correlation of propellants burning and the projectile is being pushed through. Once the projectile passes through the barrel, harmonics stop. So the harmonics are pretty much, this is a pistol barrel, the harmonics are pretty much the barrel rotating up and down. It's a lot more dramatic than what I'm making it. So obviously the barrel doesn't move this much, but as the barrel goes through the rifling, it will wobble or vibrate up and down, and depending if you are at the highest point or the lowest point when the bullet leaves, you're either going to be shooting high or low. Given it's depending on what your intentions are with shooting. If you're going to be shooting under 300 yards, I don't find being a millimeter or two off being too crazy. But if you're shooting upwards at the 800 round range or 800 yard range, I could feel, being 3 inches, 4 inches, you're going to miss your mark. For part 2, you asked us about our critical thinking and what are some firearm characteristics that I believe could be altered or improve the barrel harmonics. And I would have to say off the top of my head would be the thickness of the barrel, would be the grip type, if it's a free floating or a fixed grip or a foregrip. And the muzzle device, but I think the biggest overall would have to be the ammunition, because you have some, cheaper ammunition is more inconsistent, burns at different rates, and just overall projectile, I guess, the material of the projectile. And then with part 3, you wanted us to conduct outside research on the subject of barrel harmonics and what are our thoughts on the question 2 correct. And same citing Gun Digest by Philip Massario and his post, Understanding Barrel Harmonics. I found that the heavier barrels are more reinforced and stronger, and they do not wobble or vibrate as much for the barrel harmonics, reducing the wobble problem. Also, free-floating barrels with, if you have something, if it is free-floating, in this sense, it moves up and down freely. But if I were to pinch the middle of the grip, when it would wobble, you'd have your range, and then it would get interrupted, and then it would try to continue on, but it would be thrown off of its axis. So that's why when you have a mounted fore-end grip, it'll actually, each point that you have mounted on the barrel will mess with your harmonics, causing it to go in a different direction. Let me see, with part 4, and one thing that I did forget to mention in my part 2 question was you had asked us in part 3 if there's anything that we missed, and I missed something known as a barrel lining. I guess it's like a reinforcement hard shell that goes over the outside of your barrel to help prevent any form of wobble or vibrations going through it. And for part 4, you asked us about the environment factors or damage affecting the barrel harmonics. If so, how? I would have to say yes, very much so. I mean, even temperature, if you're shooting a gun in Siberia, if the gun barrel is starting off at, 10 degrees, and then you start shooting, throwing fire through it, it's going to be changing the overall chemistry of the barrel and the bullet itself. Along with damage, if you have a twisted thread or you have a dent or a cut in your barrel, that's not exactly even weight distributing throughout the entire barrel of the gun. I also ran out of time, so all of my citing was from the SDI school book, Introduction to Ammunition and Basic Ballistics, and Gun Digest, and I got the information from Philip Massario's post, Ballistics, Understanding the Barrel Harmonics and Accuracy. Thank you and goodbye.